Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now, today's episode, we are focusing on Chase credit cards, specifically all the credit card application rules that they have that you need to be aware of before you go ahead and press submit and end up with an automatic decline on your next Chase application. So if that sounds interesting to you, of course, go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, first things first, yes, we're going to run through all the rules here. All the public rules that we know, I should say. Now, all card issuers have rules. With Chase, at least, these rules are more, not all of them, but most of them are more underwriting guidelines, if you will. And what that means is, no company publishes their underwriting guidelines. So if you walk into a bank branch, you're not just going to have, the rules, you go to the gym, there's a bunch of rules, or the local swimming pool, no running and that whole thing. They're not going to publicly acknowledge them, but we figured this out through, a lot of crowdsourced data and playing this game for a long, long time. So just keep that in mind as we go. Now, again, let's go take this from the top here. There's a few to get through. The most infamous one is going to be Chase 524. Now, this rule specifically states if you have opened 5 or more new credit card accounts within the last 24 months, Chase will automatically decline you. So again, this is a perfect example of an underwriting rule. If you're declined for 524, most of us have been, myself included, you end up getting a letter in the mail saying, hey, you're declined and the reason is too many new accounts. But of course, they don't specify it's 5 and 24 months. We just know that from the information at hand. Now, I have a full video on Chase 524 down below because it's their most infamous rule. But again, the gist of it here is, all personal cards count towards this. However, if you're at, let's say, 424, then business cards will not push you over unless they're issued by 3 issuers, or Capital One, Discover, and TD Bank. The reason being is business cards don't report to personal credit except for those guys. Of course, they do pull personal credit, so, you will see, a hard pull, but again, that account will not show up on your personal credit report unless that account goes delinquent or you miss payments or things like that. Now, again, if you're 424, you can get, Chase business cards. If you're 524, you cannot get Chase business cards or any other Chase personal card as well. But if you were at 424, and let's say you got the Ink Cash card from Chase, then you will remain at 424, which makes the strategy, to get your personal cards and then go for your business ones before you're locked out. The same way, if you were at 524 and you applied for an Amex business card, in Chase's eyes, you would still be at 524. So just keep that in mind. And again, if you want more information on 524, full video down below because it's probably their most nuanced rule that comes up the most. Now, the next rule we have to take a look at is the 2 and 30 rule. So this one states very clearly that Chase may approve you for up to 2 personal cards in a 30-day period. This could also be 1 personal plus 1 business card in a 30-day period. However, business cards seem to be 1 every 30 days, which is basically a 1 in 30 rule. So that one's a pretty common one. Again, I've tested it on the business side. I think there was exactly 30 days between my business card applications between Ink Cash and Ink Unlimited. So again, it does get tough because, in the past, we've seen people try to apply for 2 personal cards on the same day. You'd be like, well, why would you want to do this besides you just want 2 cards? Well, in the past, it seemed like if you did that, it's going to be a hard pull, of course, on your credit. But when Chase submitted it to the credit bureau will just see 2 on the same day and run it as 1 hard pull, which, some people like to reserve their hard pull. So that was a way to do it. Other people just want 2 cards in one day. So I still think this one is kind of hit or miss, General rule of practice is really waiting maybe 90 days in between applications. So I've seen a lot more people do a lot more aggressive things. I've done it myself and had no issues. I think if you just want the best results, 1 every 90 days. But again, 2 and 30, just remember how the cards break out in that combination and you should be fine. And of course, I do think if you go in branch, a lot of this will be a lot easier because the banker will be there to help answer the questions and guide you through it to get that approval. So there we go. Now the next one we have is card limits. Now this is actually a nice one. So Chase doesn't have limits on the number of cards you can hold. However, Chase does have limits on how much credit they can extend to an individual. Now, extending credit, limits is not uncommon, right? We don't know how much it is. It's probably going to be a percentage of your income that you, list. So, when you get those pop-ups, when you log into your account that says, hey, are you still making this much money? And ask you to update your income. It might not be a bad thing to do that. Yes, they just want the information to be able to cross-sell you things, but it could potentially be beneficial. Now, the other thing we've seen Chase launch as of late is that when you go through an application process, if credit is an issue, credit limit that is an issue, there is now like a window where it says, hey, if you have an existing Chase card, you can reallocate some credit to the card you're applying for, right? So it only works on personal and personal or business and business. So if you had a Freedom Unlimited with $10,000 and you're applying for a Freedom Flex and they don't want to extend you any more credit, you could be prompted to say you can move, I don't know, $3,000 from the Freedom Unlimited over to the Freedom Flex. That way you're getting the card, they're opening the account, there's no new risk to the bank. I don't know if I can find a screenshot of that because you really have to go through the application process and be in that scenario to get it to pop up. Now, again, not having card limits or on the number of cards is great because a lot of us, myself included, have multiple Freedom cards, right? Which comes in handy with your Chase trifecta, So I have 2 OG Freedom cards, the Freedom Flex, the Unlimited, the Ink Cash, the Ink Unlimited, you name it, I got it. So that's pretty good. We've definitely put that to the test. And I've seen people with even more Freedom cards. So very good on them for that one. Now, the next rule we have is bonuses. So bonus rules. You are eligible for a new bonus every 2 years. However, you can't currently hold the same card you are applying for. So what that means is, let's just say you got the Freedom Flex card, right? So you get it, you get the bonus paid out, then technically 2 years from now, 24 months, you could get the bonus again, but it looks like they don't want you to currently have a Freedom Flex card when you apply. At least that's my understanding of it. So you could phone in, product change that card to an OG Freedom, and then apply for Freedom Flex if you wanted to do it that way. Now, I have heard conflicting reports that some people say it's, 2 years, like from the date you get the card. Other people say it's literally 2 years from the date the bonus was paid out. I don't know for sure. I've seen both ways. It's much harder to figure out, when the last time you paid out a bonus, but most bonuses are paid out. You have to be within the first 90 days of opening the card. So you could basically go 2 years and tack on 3 months if you wanted to play super safe. But this is a decent one because, again, Amex, on the other hand, has, once in a lifetime rule. So this does make, their cards churnable, if you will, But again, because you can have so many Chase cards and you can convert them to Freedom cards, as long as you don't mind rotating category cards, I wouldn't even close them. I would just product change them into Freedom cards. That's what I did with my Sapphire Reserve, so I could get back in line for a bonus. Which takes us to our next rule, which is the Sapphire rules. Now, the Sapphire rules are different than all the other bonus rules because the Sapphire rules say, you can only hold 1 Sapphire card at a time. Number 2, you're eligible for a Sapphire bonus once every 4 years, and you can't hold a Sapphire card when they apply. So they're similar, just the time range is different. So again, while I have multiple Freedom cards, I could not have multiple Sapphire cards. Back in the day, there used to be a way to do it. There's not really anymore. And there's not really that much value in having 2 Sapphire cards as there are multiple Freedom cards. So in my case, and I'll link this video down below, goes again how I got multiple Freedom cards. But what I did was, I noticed it's coming up on 4 years since I had the Sapphire Reserve, the annual fee posted. So you know what, let me call in, product change it to an OG Freedom card, no annual fee, don't have to pay the annual fee because I did it quick enough, and then let me wait until I see the next bonus that I want come up on the Sapphire Preferred. That's the one they seem to push the most. Then I can go ahead, pull the trigger, and get back in line from that. Now, of course, you could also cancel the card if you wanted to, but again, I like to have multiple Freedom cards, so it just made more sense to product change it out like that. And so, if you were asking how do I tell how long I've had the cards, well, I personally like to use Mint. I don't like Mint for much else. I'm not really anti-Mint. I just don't use it much, except for if you go into Mint, you go to your credit score section, they will list out all your cards, and they will show you like exactly when they were open, how long ago, to the date, I think, and that's usually how I tell. Now, with annual fee cards, it's easy because they just post the annual fee, and that prompted me to go look to see if I could pull off this strategy. But that's a quick cheat code way if you wanted to check the age of your cards. Now, one more rule to take a look at here before we jump to some co-branded rules, and this is specific to the Ink and business card. So, Ink EIN or Social Security number, right? So, it's possible to get multiples of Ink cards as well. You could do this by applying under a Social Security number and then also applying under an EIN number as well. So mostly people do this by they'd go in and say, hey, this is a sole proprietorship, so the business is my name, and then I'm going to use my Social Security number, so you get the Ink Cash. And then you could turn around, you could use an EIN number and apply again and get 2 of them, right? So that's pretty good because you're talking about doubling up on your bonuses. It's a lot of spend because they're business cards. But you can technically do this, that could make sense. Having 2 ink caches would make sense. 2 ink unlimiteds, probably not. 2 ink preferreds, probably not, unless you're doing a ton of media spend. But again, it's, 6 bonuses instead of 3. So, that is definitely an option there. I haven't tried it myself, but I believe there's a way to generate EIN numbers, actually. So if I can find that, I'll link it down below for you in case you need more information on that. If you want to try it, if you've done this, let us know. Now, we have 2 more to cover, and these are co-branded rules. So the first one is going to be Marriott. And this dates back for a while ago. If you remember, Marriott had that Starwood Preferred Guest, or SPG, merger back in the day. This one comes about because Amex and Marriott, or Chase and Amex, sorry, kind of share the Marriott portfolio. So you're not going to be eligible if, number one, current card member or a previous card member within the last 30 days of a Marriott Bonvoy Amex card, or also known as SPG Amex cards. Also, current or previous card member of either Marriott Bonvoy Business Amex card, the SPG Business card, or Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant Amex card, which could have been the SPG Amex Luxury card, and received new card member bonus or upgrade bonus in the last 24 months. And finally, if you applied and were approved for a Marriott Bonvoy Business Amex card, aka SPG Business Amex card, or Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, you get the point. So basically, those SPG cards and those Amex cards, what they're trying to say here is really that it's one lane. So if you go down the Amex path, you get bonuses there, then you can't get the bonuses from Chase. You can still get the card, I believe, but it's not really worth getting the card with no bonus, in my opinion, unless you go through those cooldown periods. And then I'll put up a chart that I think the points guy has, because it does get confusing, especially if you never changed over your cards when the merger happened, so just be wary of that. Now, the next one we have is for Southwest. So we take a look at this one, a little bit easier to understand. So this is straight from their terms and conditions. So they say, hey, current members of any Southwest Rapid Rewards credit card, previous card members of any Southwest Rapid Rewards credit card who received new card member bonus within the last 24 months. Of course, this does not apply to card members of the Southwest Rapid Rewards business card and employee cards, because business and personal are basically the same thing. So they have like the same rule, just on business as well. Basically, this is saying, hey, there's like 3 or 4 different Southwest cards, like pick one. They're not going to let you hit a bonus on every single one of them. I'm going to guess that's a Southwest rule more so than a Chase rule, because again, they're the partner on that, I would guess. But there you go. And last up for our co-branded cards, we have IHG. So there are 2 personal IHG cards and a business one. So either one of the personal ones, you can only have one of them, is basically what they're getting at. But current card members of any IHG Rewards credit card, previous card members of any IHG Rewards credit card, or who have received a new card member bonus for this card within the last 24 months. Of course, this does not apply to card members of the IHG Rewards Premier Business card, because again, business and personal are basically 2 separate products. So overall, those are the Chase credit card applications as of, mid-2022 that you need to be aware of. Now, overall, for the most part, I don't think Chase is too bad. Again, they do let you get their card bonuses multiple times, and the rules are pretty clear, at least in the terms and conditions for those. So overall, I can't be too mad about it, especially because they let me have as many freedom cards as I want. But of course, let me know what you think about the rules. Are they too strict? Do you hate them? Do you love them? Let me know all that down below. So anyways, guys, if you like this one, drop me a thumbs up down below. Find it particularly interesting, of course, consider subscribing to the channel. Again, posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Right back every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. Again, my question for you, let me know what you think about those Chase rules. Which ones do you hate? How far stuck are you in 524 purgatory? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, and wish you a speedy exit very soon. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.